What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
Chris 183.
Yes, just Chris 183. And Chris, this is the last Steve picks March. I'm so sad about it that I'm mushing my words all together. This is the last one. It's been a fun time.
Now you know how I feel, sir.
Did you feel this way at the very end of Chris picks February or whatever month it was?
I did. I felt really bad, but I felt good about what we had done. I felt good about the episodes or these songs and albums that we talked about and that I picked. So it was okay, but I felt sad that it was over. But I think maybe we're double sad now because now the Chris picks, Steve picks are completely done after today.
It is, but let's save our sadness till the end of the episode because we got one to get through. We got a last one, and I am very, very excited about it. First, a quick shout out to our patrons, Nick, Sam, Jason, Ashley, Punkerstad, and Tom. Thank you, guys. And now we're going to get into the last one in Steve Pick March. So let's see. I picked American Hi-Fi. I picked Ludo. I picked Stephen Lynch. And with the last pick, I wanted to go something that was like a band that everyone, like a theme that a lot of people like that I don't really know all that much. And so I chose this one. This is an album called A Lesson in Romantics, very romantical, and it's by a band called Mayday Parade. So I am super excited to talk about this one. Chris, what do you know about Mayday Parade?
Well, I know Mayday Parade has been around for some time. I mean, this album itself is from 2007, but I believe they had albums prior to that. This is the first one. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to check you on that.
There was an EP before it. This is a debut full length.
They were a band before 2007. I know that for sure. So that's kind of what I was saying. But I will say that I'm definitely not a historian on this band. I wasn't a huge fan of this band. I heard their music. I was into it. 2007, I think, was a transition year for a lot of music. I think on the radio, you heard a lot more of the emo pop punk. A lot of that was breaking through into the mainstream radio, even more so than ever. You had a lot of Fall Out Boy. You had a lot of My Chemical Romance. So bands, that were in this genre sounded like them or similar to them. And I think there's a lot of similarities to a lot of the pop punk or emo pop that was out at that time to what Mayday Parade sounds like on this album. Beyond that, I can't really speak to it a ton. I've seen them live one time. They were amazing. And I just think they were a band that I'm not going to sit here and say that I love all of their stuff because I don't. I don't think that, all of their stuff really hits like across the board, but I do think that there's definitely some songs that fall right up my alley. So that's where I'm at right there. A little generic, but kind of that's where I'm at. So what about you, Steve?
Yeah, I know very, very little about Mayday Parade. I actually saw them once. It was either last summer or the summer before, and they were on tour with I think it was Yellow Card, Story of the Year, and Mayday Parade. And I was sitting there. I was kind of annoyed. I thought that Story of the Year was a bigger band than Mayday Parade because I don't know all about them. I know the name. I know that people like them. They're popular. They're in the genre. Kind of like you, around 2007, I wasn't really searching out new pop punk emo stuff. I was kind of just listening to the same old stuff and the artists that I knew. So I never really got into them. I never got dragged into them. It's funny. I know the song Miserable Best just because on the station, there's a Sirius station called the Emo Project. And there's a bumper where it's like emo, screamo, pop punk. And I think after the emo part, they play a tiny little bit, I could live without you, but without you, I'll be miserable at best. So that's like all I kind of knew about them when I saw them play live. And I enjoyed seeing them live. I think at that show, I was with a group of people and a couple of them were like talking really loud around me. And I had to like walk away because I was trying to listen to the bands. And I was annoyed. But anyways, the reason why I picked this album, I have to give the credit to our buddies in the emo band, because without them, I would be miserable at best. No, without them, I probably wouldn't have wanted to cover this album, because what happened was, not that long ago, the emo band, they do private events. They were playing a wedding. Someone hired them to play a wedding, and it was very close to where I live. And when you go see the emo band, their live emo pop punk karaoke, you read the lyrics on the screen as if they're like automatic. In reality, there's a person at a computer, and they are moving along the lyrics in a slideshow so that the singer can see them at the appropriate times. And the emo band dudes, knowing that I lived like 15 minutes away, asked me if I would help them out and run their slides at this wedding. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fun. I'll do that. And they gave me a list of the wedding party and the songs that they had already put in. And I got a little paranoid about a couple, just a few of this. He's like, you know all these songs. A couple of the songs I didn't know all that well, including Jamie All Over by Mayday Parade, which was someone had already put that in. They were going to sing that. And I really didn't want to screw up somebody's song with the lyrics and stuff. So while I was on my way and the day before to this venue, I listened to Jamie All Over and read the lyrics so that I could remember the song, just so that I didn't screw it up for this person singing. And, as the story goes, after the wedding, I just can't stop listening to that song. It got like ingrained into my brain, very much like Neck Deep did after we listened to Neck Deep for the show. And so when it came time for Steve Picks, I thought, and we had actually put Mayday Parade up for You Pick 'em June a couple of times, but it never got picked. Anyways, this was the time. I figured this was a shot to just let's listen to it and let me get a good idea of what this band is. And that's where we are. That's the reason why I picked this album. Thank you, emo band dudes.
What happens if you screw up like them? So look, to my understanding is karaoke is like it scrolls down the screen and the light and the words light up as you sing. So you just keep following it and it continues to scroll down. What happened to that? Did they do away with that?
Well, that's your like traditional karaoke that's like hooked up to some machine or something like that. And, the DJ at the bar presses one button and the video goes on and there's a little bouncing ball. With a live band, you can't cue that up so directly. So they've created a slide. Hopefully they don't get mad that I'm, peeling the onion back here, but they've created a slideshow for each song, which has 4 or 5 lines. So when those 4 or 5 lines are finished, you go to the next one. If you screw up, then the lyrics are wrong for the person looking on stage. That's why I wanted to make sure that I had an idea how the song went.
If they're such a big fan and they pick the song, they should know the lyrics.
That's true.
They need you.
But at some of these events, people get intoxicated and put in songs that they don't know. And they get intoxicated and forget the words to the songs. Or maybe they're stone cold sober and they just mess them up or forget them, or they think they know the words and they do not. So the words are a guide. You don't have to look at them, but they're there if you want them.
When I'm intoxicated, I either remember everything that I need to remember, or I don't care. So I feel like, you would have been fine either way.
Well, but I cared. I didn't want to be the one to mess it up. So everything went off without a hitch. It was great. And now I got some behind the scenes looks at how the sausage is made, so they say.
I wish I was chosen to do that, because I would mess it up on purpose, not to screw over those guys, but just to see what happens.
Well, that might be better in a setting in which, if you think about it, the bride and groom paid this band X amount of dollars, which I would assume is a bit of dollars, in order for them to play at their wedding. So you that might not have been the place to experiment with that, but maybe at like a bar or something. Sure.
I bet you they wouldn't have even known. I bet you they wouldn't have known.
Again, you don't want to roll the dice with other people's dollars and a wedding. These people really wanted this.
I do. They probably weren't even looking at the lyrics, but it sounded like they had a good time anyway. But the question is that, so you knew every single other song that they had on that list?
I knew it well enough to know when to switch the slide. Yes, there may have been 1 or 2 other ones that I looked at just to make sure, but this was the one where I was like, oh, I do not really know how that song goes.
So the wedding guests had to sit there and listen to people sing karaoke the whole
Yeah, it
time
was just this was like the party, like the reception, if you will,
after the wedding.
after the wedding. Yeah, but it was like an hour set, and then a little break, and then another maybe another hour set.
Yeah, but the wedding reception is all of your guests.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's like 300 people that have to sit there and listen to somebody screech out Jamie all over.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that many people. It was a smaller wedding. Actually, the funniest part about the whole thing is that the first song that was played is the bride and groom wanted to come out to the starting line song. I want to tear your ass up like we just got married.
Mm.
And I said to the guys, I think the grandparents are gonna listen to this, and this is gonna be the song that they come out to. But nobody was paying that close attention, I guess. But everyone was having fun.
Yep. I'll tell you what, so that's cool. That reminds me of old school. One of my favorite movies of all time. Where the guy was with the Dan band was dropping F bombs,
Sure.
through to Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yep.
And the older people that were at the wedding were starting to notice, if you remember correctly. I don't know. You
Yes.
probably don't remember that movie.
No, of course I do.
It's good. It was good. Well, okay, so that's it. That's a good story. I see where you had the connection there. I do wonder, like, so what was your state of fandom in 2007? You said you were listening to a lot of the same things. What were those same things, like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance?
Yeah, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Newfound Glory, Yellow Card, like all the stuff that I had been listening to in the Blink 182, late 90s, early 2000s. I don't think I was really actively seeking out new stuff. I think around this time, like Cobra Starship was putting out new music still, so I probably paid attention to that. Um, but not a whole lot of like brand new bands that I really pick into. I kind of missed the beginning of All Time Low, which was around this time, but I got into them around, I don't know, 10, 11, or 12. So I just never got into, never really came too much across Mayday Parade. I mean, this song wasn't going to be on the radio, any radio that I was listening to.
I can't really even remember that year. I don't know what was special about like the 7 and 8. Like to me, it just all kind of blurs together. I don't think there was anything that really happened, was there?
I'm sure that there were things that happened.
I mean, things happened, but nothing really notable that you can remember or I can remember.
It's
It's
it's fuzzy time.
Yeah, for sure. So okay, well, enough about 2007. This album came out. It was What was the fanfare? Do you have any stats on it that the people want that you can tell the people?
The people, yes, people. So Mayday Parade are from Tallahassee, Florida. They're a Floridian band. This was released July 10th, 2007, on Fearless Records, so a record label that we know. Produced by Zach Odom and Kenneth Mount. It got to number 8 on the Heat Seekers chart and number 31 on the Independent Albums chart. And it actually sold over 200,000 records, so it's certified gold. It was recorded right after they did their first like Warp Tour. So there's a lot of themes of breakups and being on the road. And I mean, I would definitely consider this kind of one of those traditional pop punk, breakup albums. And I don't know, do you think this is pop punk? Is it emo? Is it a mix? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I don't think it's pop punk. I mean, it's more pop. It's more emo pop than it is punk. Like punk, I think they do it. They do it, and I'll talk about what I think about that on this album. But they don't do it nearly enough to sit here and say that this is a pop punk album.
I kind of think it is.
I disagree. I disagree. It's How can you say that when there's a ton of slow stuff, there's a ton of songs without that, just signature pop punk sound. It's more just, guitar lines and regular singing. Like it doesn't sound like that type of music at all. It sounds like something else.
Hmm. Interesting. So, did you like this record? Because I didn't know that I was even going to like it because I hadn't listened to it before I picked it. I just picked it.
I mean, I think that it didn't hit me across the face as like, wow, this is like an all time great. But there were some high points for sure. Like I think they put together a really solid song. And they put together a good pop song. And I think that the ones I enjoyed more on this album were the ones that resembled a little bit more along the lines of a pop punk song.
Okay.
They had that bouncy guitar. It's just that, that up and down sound. I don't know how to really put it, but if you listen to any pop punk song that you sit here and say, yeah, that's what that sounds like. When they do that, I think they do a good job with it. A little bit more of like, the grind, this not screamy lyrics, but just more intensive vocals, I should say, not lyrics. Um, when they go the other direction and it's more like inspirational, they do a lot of I just want to put here inspirational stuff. I just don't feel like that's my thing. Like it's not something I would go out of my way and listen to. It's very radio friendly, somewhat melodic, because some of these songs that are not pop punk, in my opinion, aren't even really catchy enough to be considered melodic or, radio friendly. But they have that sound that could be, if you put them on the radio, I could see during this time period at least where they would fit right in. But that's kind of where I'm at. So I didn't give you oh, I love it or oh, I hate it. I gave you a little bit more of an explanation, and I guess we'll kind of get into why I just really don't want to. I don't want to categorize this one extreme or the other. I just can't.
Okay. 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 I really liked it. I'll just go out and say that. This might be the next band that I get really into, kind of like I did with Neck Deep last year. Oh, and by the way, the band's been busy. They've had 4 EPs, they've had 7 full-length records, and they're putting out the first part of a 3-part album this year in 2025. So I have a lot. If I'm going to listen to more Mayday Parade, I have a lot to listen to. And I'm very curious to find out what all other Mayday Parade sounds like, because the guy who does the co-lead vocals, his name is Jason Lancaster. He left the band after this was recorded, but before it actually came out, because they didn't give him a writing credit for the album. So he left. So I don't know how the back and forth vocals go, or if there are none on subsequent albums. I would be interested to hear that.
You're not a fan of Derek Sanders?
I am, but I really do like a lot of that back and forth. And I feel like it's something when you listen to this record is, very apparent. So I'm just curious, where it goes from here.
It's a good thing I had that name, for the benefit of the show.
Yeah, Derek Sanders. That's him.
Because you didn't mention that. So
good job.
I feel like maybe I should just take over that section of the show.
You could if you want.
And I did have Jason Lancaster, and I did see that, and who knows, right? This is getting into internet territory, but what I read was that he left due to personal reasons, burnout from being on the road, et cetera, et cetera. But whether that's true or not, you're right. He did leave. Too bad. It's part of the dynamic that I actually really did like on this album was the dual vocalists. I've said it probably 10 zillion times throughout the time that we've had this podcast that I'm a fan of dual vocalists. I just think it sounds good. Like it sounds great when that works perfectly. And they do a lot of good stuff here with it. So it's not going to be a bad thing that they don't have two. I definitely think it takes away. But yeah,
we shall see. Got to listen.
If I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet that their sound hasn't changed all that much. I'm going to bet that their sound, if it had changed, just think of like what modern pop punk sounds like. And they probably have gone like more in the all-time low realm, of sound versus, anything else. But I obviously got to hear it first before I say that. But that's what I would guess. If I was going to put all the money in and guess, that would be mine.
All right. You want to get into this record? Do you want a lesson in romantics?
I suppose so. Why don't you kick it off, because this is your song. This is the song you listen to 100 times.
Over and over and over. Jamie all over. Yeah, so this is the second single they released. It's definitely the band's biggest commercial success. It was certified platinum. And this song was actually, so when Mayday Parade was formed, they actually were kind of a merging of 2 different bands. So this originally was a song by a band called A Kid Named Chicago. It was their song. And then they merged with another band called Defining Moment to form Mayday Parade. So this wasn't one that they all wrote together. This was a Kid Named Chicago song. And I mean, this song is just a straight up banger. The two vocalists gives like big time, like the things that I loved about Taking Back Sunday's first record, gives me those Taking Back Sunday vibes. I love in the pre-chorus the drums. They're so fast, but they're subtle. They're not like overpowering or too loud. And then the chorus is just huge and earwormy. I mean, it's just fantastic. I love the mentions of all the different locations. We got Vegas, San Francisco, California, Georgia. You can tell that it's kind of like a road song. Guys that were road tested, been on the road for a while. I'm not sure that I understand all the hate for Georgia, but it does fit in the song, I suppose. Huge high notes when he hits up with the "I wake up with the fondest memories," like great. I mean, there's a gang vocal section. The song just honestly has it all. And then the final refrain with all the harmonies and the overlapping vocals, just like all the things that I love about punk songs. This song was just fantastic and well placed at the first track.
You know what we got to do is we got to find a different word besides earworm. It gives me the creeps. It like gives me the shivers. I don't know why. I just don't like that word anymore. I used to be okay with it, but it just, I don't know. Earworm, like who wants a worm by your ear? Like
it gets stuck in there. That's the reference.
It never gets. Who gets a worm stuck in their ear?
Someone who's quite unlucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you're looking down and to the left, then your ear is facing the ground, so that could happen.
Right, but that's a bad thing, and when people say earworm, that would be a good thing, right? To get it stuck in your head.
It could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, don't let a worm crawl into your ear, please. Please, if you're gonna do one thing,
a public
today,
safety announcement from High School Never Ends.
Don't let it happen. I just don't. I don't want to see it. So we'll think of a different word for that, but maybe just catchy. I don't know. But hey, Steve, I mean, aside from that, and that's not a shot at you, it's more just a PSA for everybody out there. You said all the right things about this track. It's definitely the modern pop punk sound of modern times in the late '00s. This is what, if you turn on anything that would be labeled pop punk at the time, it would sound like this. And for me, again, this is what I want to hear from this band, is a song like this. This post all of the screamo stuff, this post sound, like this is good stuff. Like I love that screamo. I love that, mid 2000s stuff. I loved all of it, but getting into this stuff, like if we're going to transition into this type of music, then I need to have the roots of pop punk in it, and they keep that here in this track. So very sing-songy, very pop punk, very riff driven. Like you said, a great track. The vocals are on point. Layering is just beautiful. So they really do kick it off well. And if I'm going to give somebody one song to listen to from Mayday Parade, I'm definitely thinking about this as that one song.
I could see that. All right.
So,
does it continue with Black Cat?
Yeah, a little bit different of a track here. Not bad. It's just different. Like it shifts in a little bit of a strange direction. It's really centric. Like it's centric around a couple things. Number one, it has that almost like that march in the verse that you get, similar to potentially like a My Chemical Romance song where they would do that sort of thing. It's not the same, but it's not too far off. Even maybe has a Panic vibe to it. But the other thing it's centric on is the rapid fire chorus. It is shifting to more of a rock song in this one. This is more of a rock song. I don't care what anybody says, versus a pop punk song. And this is where I start to fall away a little bit. This one, not so much, because it has some creativity in it, and it does some cool things with the music and the way that it's built. But I think that if it was straight, any more straightforward, and I would probably get further towards the not really as interested mindset, I should say. So that's where I'm at on this one, Steve.
Oh my God. If this is not, you mentioned it, but I am going to emphasize it. If this isn't reminiscent of Panic at the Disco, then I don't know what to say. This exact song could be on A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and it would fit right in. Like, it sounds like them. The guitar, the vocals, the chorus, the whoa, whoa, whoas, like everything. Having said that, I really like it because I like that album and I like Panic at the Disco. The cadence of the chorus is very cool. I feel like the guitars throughout this one are awesome. It's a very guitar driven song. You mentioned the Spitfire. You're like a black cat with a black backpack full of, it's very quick. There's a very cool a guitar shred section. They do this a couple of times on this record where it's just like like just going crazy. Not quite as explosive as Jamie All Over, but I think this kind of holds its own here at number 2. Panic at the Disco, Black Cat.
And let me just preface this by saying, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, it's a pop punk song, so I like it, or it's not a pop punk song, so I hate it. Like, I don't want everybody to think that just listening. Like, that's not going to be the way. I mean, there's still going to be a pattern though of when they do that theme, that sound. It to me in my ear, no worms, but in my ear, it sounds better. So just a PSA, another PSA. This episode is going to be full of PSA, Steve.
Okay. I guess I'll keep it going. When I Get Home, You're So Dead. And this was actually the first official single, so which makes sense that they put it here at number 3. This one also sounds quite a bit like Panic at the Disco. I really liked the verse into the pre-chorus, or I'm not sure if it's actually a pre-chorus or a verse. Right before the first chorus, I really like that part. The chorus itself is decent. It's not the best, but it's catchy enough. I think maybe the whole like "girls make boys cry" line was just a little bit. I don't know. It's a little cliche for me. There is kind of this. There's this harmony slash like kind of metal chuggy section is pretty cool, and then it like leads into a calm down chorus. I feel like at that point though, this would have been ripe for a few screams. Like I guess they don't have an unclean vocalist because I feel like this song could have actually benefited from a couple extra screams.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I've said that before here and there.
I don't think you've ever said it. Ever.
Listen, a couple of well placed screams are fantastic.
But you've never said that you wanted them added into a song. Like you were complimentary of them when they showed up.
No, I
But
did. I did say that there were at least once in the past that there was a song that needed a scream.
I dare you to find it because it doesn't exist.
It was
I
like at
dare
the
you.
very end of a song. I got to look at our previous episodes. It wasn't that long ago.
So did I. I used to say that stuff too. I said all that, but you have to find it. You have to
We'll
find
talk
it.
and maybe
Steve.
I'll find it.
All right. Where are we at here? When I get home, you're so dead. So this song's not for me. Not really into the sound here. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like just like you said. You stole a little bit of the thunder. So what I feel like this sounds like a Panic song that I wouldn't be into either. It just that's kind of what it is. It's like, well, yeah, sounds like Panic, but I wouldn't like that song, so I really don't love this one either. I always just try and pull one thing. I always say like if I can find one thing on a song that I'm not really into that is a high point, I'll talk about it. So I think really the only thing that I was able to pull out was there's a section here with some layered vocals where they layer the main vocals over a guitar riff and some backing vocals. I thought that was pretty good. It sounded good, but otherwise, not my thing.
Not for you.
Not really.
I know one thing that's for you is that Jersey, New Jersey. That's for you.
Yeah, definitely no bacon, egg, and cheese here. It just gets colder, Steve, and that is true. Jersey does get really cold.
It gets cold, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Here's what I think about this song. So I think that it's very emo, very emotional in a lot of ways. It's feel good pop punk, feel good. It should be its own genre of feel good, or after it rains in the summer pop punk, where the sun comes out and you feel a certain way and you still can smell the rain, like that feeling. That's what this song is to me. Like it's those things. And in a lot of ways, there's nothing wrong with having music like this. You need music like this. It's uplifting. It sounds good. It makes you feel good. And, if that music is also emo pop or pop punk in nature, even better, even better. So very catchy combo in this song. So really very catchy combo. The now I'm hoping just a little bit stronger. Uh, hold me up just a little bit longer. I didn't sing it obviously, but the way that that's sung, I think that the melodically it sounds really good. Like the way that they kind of fit those two lines together, the way they go up and down the octaves. Again, not going to sing it, but go listen to it and you know what I'm talking about. So a lot of really good things in this track, and I think that this is definitely a check mark. Steve,
Yeah, I love the vocals. The vocals are so smooth right from the jump. In that first verse, they add in the guitars and the drums. They kind of give that like the song is building something, that feeling in just the first verse and chorus. I love let's write a song we can dance to. Let's write a song that we can sing to. The delivery is just very even keeled throughout the entire chorus, and then that part where it gets super soft just makes you kind of feel emotional. Jersey just got colder, and I feel like with a very short, simple song, like construction wise, they do a lot with it, and this is one that stands out. Definitely, it's definitely different than the other one so far.
agreed, agreed.
All right. Well, there are a couple of tracks on here that have very long titles, as some of these bands around this time do. This song is called number 5. If you wanted a song written about you, all you had to do was ask. So I'm sure that the people that he's writing it. There's actually a title later,
Do
but
you think that these are like text message? 2007, were we doing text messages?
definitely.
They were still like top three numbers, weren't they?
They might have been, but there were sidekicks. There was probably Blackberries at that point. I think the first iPhone came out in maybe '08 or '09, something like that.
Mm, I don't know. I think I, yeah, I think there were rudimentary Blackberries, but it was still mostly three taps. I remember because we were selling candy bars and flips pretty much only in 2007. There
Yeah,
weren't
it
a lot of
could have been.
other stuff.
There was
There
still
wasn't a lot of
texting
other
going
stuff.
on though.
There was, but my point is that it sounds like if you wanted a song written about you, all you had to do was ask as a text message. When I get home, you're so dead as a text message.
Well,
Like that's
just do the translation to those times. It was an AOL an
it.
AIM message,
You're spot on. I
an away message.
blew my
Um,
mind. Go for it.
so geez, man, if Black Cat was Panic at the Disco, this song really just hits me in the face. Brand new, Sick Transit Gloria. Those bass, there's just that like continuous bass just makes me think of that song. And it doesn't really sound like it in like the vocal delivery or anything like that, but the bass like straight up. Um the chorus to me in this song is just really full musically. Like the guitars are loud, everything just sounds like really big. Um, I love that there's a verse here, these comparisons to singing, where like he's singing a song and he's making comparisons in the song to singing. They're very well done. He says, and you dropped the note and we changed key. You changed yourself and that changed me. I really didn't see us singing through this. Then you screamed the bridge and I cried the verse and our chorus came out unrehearsed and you smiled the whole way through it. I guess maybe that's what's worse. So I love that he's talking about their relationship as if it's a song. I think that's very cool as a lyricist. I just think by this point at number 5, I'm like, man, this is just a great start to an album. This one has a very kind of dark emo bridge that turns into this like big loud proclamation. I like this one a whole lot.
I think this one was maybe a smidge just too long. Like if they would have just shortened this one just a little bit, I don't know. Like I feel like maybe it would be a little bit more entertaining, but I'm not
Almost
gonna.
all their songs are like, I think like the shortest one is like maybe 3:20, but a lot of them clock in at 4 and over 4.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean that doesn't take away from the point. I mean the point is this song in particular, I would have liked to see a little bit shorter. I think it maybe ran a little bit too long for what it was, for what they tried to do here. However, I did enjoy this track. I thought it was a very stripped down track, very raw, very emotional. Once again, that emo sound talks about pictures. Steve, how many times have pictures been talked about in pop punk and
I
emo?
would I would gather to say a lot.
Would you say over 1,000?
In any song, yeah, I'm sure.
2,000?
I mean, songs have been written for so many years. Yes.
Emo, just I'm not talking about like Euro pop. I'm talking about just pop punk.
Probably like
And
20,000.
20,000?
I'm just pulling that number out of my rear end.
I'm writing that down. So you say 20,000 on the nose. I'm going to say 20,001.
20,001. You're going
Yes.
one more.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you like Googling this or something? Is there a way to look this up?
I don't know. I don't think so. But we're going to pull in the listeners. Listeners, do you
It's been
know?
scribed.
Can you find this number for us and see who wins? Steve would have to hit it right on the nose to win. Otherwise, I'm the winner because I got the bid second. Because we play Prices Rights rules on this
Yeah,
show.
that was cheap, making me go first.
I mean, you were glad to go first, weren't you?
I guess.
You had no issue with
I
it.
didn't really understand that. I didn't know that we were in a contest.
I also like the fact that they did the soft lyrics into the burst, into the big explosion. We love explosions on High School Never Ends, the podcast, especially when you get that transition. So I'm with you. I would listen to this one again. It's a great track.
All right. Well, this is again the song that was the bumper on the emo screamo pop punk for the emo project radio station, Miserable at Best. Had you heard this one before?
No,
No. Okay. What do you think?
you know what I do. Is it my turn to start?
Yeah.
Are they singing with some kind of weird accent in the song? Like the way they sing here, it just seems like they're taking words, they're saying words in a way that I don't understand. And maybe that's just an affectation or it's just the way they sing. I don't know if I hear it in any other songs though. But do you know what I
I
mean?
totally agree.
What are they doing? Are they
I don't know.
Australian? Are these guys Australian?
The Floridian.
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody has accents. I have an accent. You have an accent. People that live in Florida have an accent, but I never heard. I mean, this is like an accent from somebody that lives in New Zealand. And it's just weird.
Well, Billy Joe sounds like a English person sometimes. I don't know. Maybe this is just how they were feeling it when he was singing it, Derek.
Let's talk about piano ballads and emo pop punk guys. Like, did you ever think to yourself, like, that doesn't really mix, does it? Like a guy that has the swoopy front hair, the blonde super swoopy front hair with like the spiky jacket in front of a piano, like singing a ballad. Does that mix?
I mean, you just described Andrew McMahon.
It's not. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about Andrew Man. I'm the thing.
I think a
I'm.
lot of emo. I am not surprised to hear a piano ballad on an emo types album.
I guess. I guess. I just thought it was a funny. It was a funny visual, and even though you didn't get that, a lot of people out there will. They will. They understand. They understand what's funny.
Okay.
We just got finished talking about this in the last episode, didn't we? Or one of the last episodes. So
Mm, okay.
you know what's funny and what's not funny.
Oh yes, that
Mm.
was the last one.
I tried to help you. I don't think you wanted any help though.
I appreciate that.
I'm trying to do my best. But that's really all I got here on this one. So I just wanted to talk about the pop punk ballad guy, and I wanted to talk about the affectation. Otherwise, it's a straightforward song, Steve. I don't think there's really anything to call out here other than it's just piano music and it's an emotional song. I is this on, was this on the radio?
Um, I don't know. I don't think so. They don't even they did make a music video for it, so it might have been on like MTV or MTV2 or something. Uh,
Fuse.
yeah, I mean this was the really the MySpace era, so it's probably, highly promoted that way.
Sure.
I think at the music video it does even call out their MySpace page like underneath it in the links.
Mhm.
But I've never heard this on the radio, no. Other than on the emo project, which is where it belongs.
Let me ask you a weird question. Do you think that Instagram would have worked instead of MySpace in 2007?
It's hard to say just because the evolution of social media, it started off with the long form, right? Facebook and MySpace were long form ways. You make an entire page, you list all your favorite things, you could, say as much as you want. And then after time, it was like, let's shorten this up. Let's just have it just be a picture and a caption. And, that has, and some videos and stuff like that. But even the length of Instagram posts have increased over the course of time. So like would it work? Would it have worked? It probably would have worked, but I think you kind of need those building blocks to get to where you ended up.
You know why I think it wouldn't have worked as much though, because in 2007 you had very few ways to be able to easily upload images onto your social media page. You had your digital camera,
Right. You had to take digital camera pictures, download them, and then upload them.
right?
You didn't
Yeah,
have the access
those
from your phone.
you didn't. And if you did take a picture from your phone,
It was pretty bad.
you could barely see the person. So, okay. It just popped into my head and I wanted to see what you thought, but I think that's a broader conversation that we can have another time.
Okay. Miserable at best. Listen, I like a good piano ballad. This is a really nice song. If I was a fan since 2007, I could see this being like a favorite song of mine, probably. Maybe I would have had a breakup or something that was difficult in my life, and I really would have connected with this song. For me, it's nice, but I'm not like super drawn into it. The internet, Wikipedia calls it a gut wrenching breakup ballad with no punches pulled, and compares it to A Long December by Counting Crows in terms of the type of song it is. To me, it's a very sad, very sweet song. The video, watching the video just made me sad. It's like these guys and they're in like the snow, and there's just like different pictures of them with their like girls, and you can tell that they're like fighting and breaking up, and um, you know, without you, I'll be miserable at best. Just as a lyric is pretty powerful. So I like the song. But again, I feel like if I had 15, 20 years and life experiences that tied me to this song, then maybe I would. I'm sure there are people out there that this makes them cry upon listening to it for sure.
Why do people want to wallow in that though? Just freaking get over it, dude. Just get over it. Like there's
I mean,
there's
that's
plenty of fish in the sea.
that's easy to say afterwards, but when you're going through it, sometimes you need to wallow in it.
I never wallowed.
Sometimes you need to be Michael Scott listening to that clip of was John Mayer or something over and over.
Or Black Balloon by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah,
Or
sure.
Everybody Hurts by REM. There's so
Yeah,
many other options,
there's so
Steve.
many.
So many other options. And I think this would make me feel worse. These guys singing to me about this stuff. because these are the guys that all the girls wanted in that time. So it's like these guys would ultimately be the one that caused you to have the breakup because they probably ended up with your girlfriend.
Asked her to dance.
Yes, sir. I bet you.
You may be
That's,
right.
I have no sympathy for these guys and their tears and their pianos. So
Well, you should open yourself up. Be more empathetic.
no, because I see right through them. But next song here is where are we at here?
Walk on water or
Walk
drown.
on water.
Walk on water or drown. I think it's my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
So after miserable at best, we're back to upbeat here. I love this drumming trick that the drummer, whose name is Jake Bundrick. They do this. I just love this thing where they play the drums and you just quickly tap the side of the snare, like the metal part, to get that like clicking sound. And when you do it really fast, it sounds very good. And he does this again in this song. Honestly, I'm just kind of geeking out on the drums throughout this song. The starts and stops throughout this one are really fun. The chorus is super short the first time and then gets expanded with these harmonies. When they do the overlapping vocals, that's always a favorite kind of punk emo thing for me to do. And then I like the last time when the whole time it's been, we all fall. He changes it about the I fell into pieces, we all fall into pieces, I fell into pieces. So I kind of like that going back and forth with that. I liked Walk on Water or Drown, and it definitely pumps you back up after Miserable at Best.
This is another one that just didn't sit right with me. Like it's not my cup of tea either. I think the riff was the background riff, the guitar is just kind of fade. It's kind of like a fade into the background riff. It's not outstanding. It's not something that's memorable. It's just good, but just good fades into the background. So like this is a song that would kind of just be there. I would listen to it, enjoy, but I would always just kind of forget about it after it was over. That's where I'm at on this one. Layered vocals are always a plus, and I'll say that
Oh
every
yeah.
time, and I think it adds to it. But overall, not the most outstanding track on the album.
All right.
And okay, I'll go ahead and kick. I'll continue this off. I'll get in the rhythm here, Steve. Eventually, even though we're about halfway through, but that's okay.
So we've been doing even and odds. You have the evens.
This is Ocean Avenue Atlantic. This next one.
Ocean Avenue and Atlantic Avenue.
I looked that up and I could not find it. So I looked up Ocean Avenue on my GPS because I wanted to see what that was. Now, is it the same Ocean Avenue that the Yellow Card wants to talk about?
There's an Ocean Avenue in almost every beach town. I believe that Yellow Card is referencing Florida, but I don't know.
Okay, so that's the answer then. That's what I asked you. I asked you if it's the same one, and you said no.
I said maybe.
Well, but you believe. Let's go with what you believe. Let's go with your gut. And you said it's Florida, not New Jersey.
I would think so. These guys are from Florida, and so is Yellow Card.
I think they're talking about New Jersey in this one, though.
Okay.
I don't know why, because they had a song about Jersey earlier. So I'm assuming they're talking about Ocean Avenue in New Jersey. Steve, do you know that New Jersey is 5 hours and 47 minutes away from me? If I wanted to get to Ocean Avenue today, that's how long it would take for me to get there.
What town is that in? Is that Ocean Avenue in Atlantic City? Is it in Ocean City, New Jersey?
Well, the other interesting thing is this. Ocean Avenue is a
It
very
is.
long road. It looks like it spans almost the entirety of not the coast, but
It's called the Shore, Chris. The Shore.
it's called the coast.
The Shore. It's referred to as the Shore.
How about the coast? Let's take a poll. East Coast, West Coast. You never heard of that before?
No,
They
but
don't
when you're
say
referring to the beaches in Jersey, it's the Shore.
East Coast, West Coast. West Shore is where you buy windows and like
I don't know what
kitchen
that is.
stuff. Most people do. But Ocean Avenue is very long. I looked at every crossroad I possibly could. I did not see Atlantic. but this road goes all the way down to what looks like a lake in the middle of everything. Maybe it's a river where it ends. I'm not. No, it's
Probably
a
a bay.
lake. It's a lake. It says Deal Lake, right by Asbury Park. It looks
Oh,
like it
that's not.
ends.
I was thinking more south. Yeah, ocean.
Well,
There's a million ocean avenues, and there's a million Atlantic avenues.
Ocean Avenue ends right before Asbury Park Dog Beach. Steve, what is a dog beach?
A beach where you're allowed to bring your dog.
It's not a beach of dogs where dogs you just let them loose and they run around and then you just let them stay there.
I don't think they live there. Probably not. Just a guess.
Um, yeah. So I mean, there. It's long. It's a long road, so I could not find Atlantic, unfortunately, but it goes all the way down to I don't even know where we're at. Highlands Ranch, Lower Rocky Point. Does any of this ring a bell to you?
I think we can move on. I think you're going a little too deep on this.
Easy, easy. Uh, Navsink Avenue is where it changes from Ocean Avenue into Navsink. There's a lot of people from Jersey that are listening to the show, and they're happy that I'm talking about this.
Are they?
And you want to move on.
Yeah. I want you to talk about the song.
Give me one good reason why you want me to move on.
I mean, because just don't you don't listen to anything that I say when I'm telling you that there are ocean avenues and Atlantic avenues all throughout New Jersey. You've just found one, and you're literally looking at Google Maps, reading the weird town names where you can
All you're
find.
trying to do with that comment, though, is just cut this conversation off. And
That would be fantastic.
I'm trying to tell you that that is not what I'm allowing you to do. I'm going to keep it going, but I'm done now, so we can move back. So there you go. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. I love the guitar effect on this song. I had it in my head and now I lost it. But there's a guitar effect. How does that guitar? So
Do do
listen
do
to the song.
do 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 do.
Those people out there that play guitar, and I know you're listening. How do you get that sound? How do you get that sound on a guitar? Because I want to know. So I'll just kind of leave it there. Tell me how you get that sound. I don't think it's normal strumming. It's got to be, and I don't even know if it's an effect or a pedal or what. I feel like it's something else. So tell me what you do to get that sound. I want to know, Steve. Handing it off to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a super fun song. Obviously, very guitar driven, some cool sounds. I called it this like high pitched guitar riff kind of towards the end. I would think it's some sort of pedal maybe that gives that sound. And the part of this song is in the chorus when he just says, "So keep it coming, keep the details quiet." For some reason, that part of the chorus every time makes me want to like bop my head, bang my head, and like rock out. Or I could see like seeing this live and just kind of exploding and going nuts. I found something about this song actually that Derek says the song is about a prostitute, um, but it could just be about a girl like wanting to escape the town, escaping Ocean and Atlantic, the city, the town that she was from. But if you read through the lyrics, I kind of saw that it could be about a woman of the night.
I
Interesting.
didn't even, I was spending too much time on Google Maps. I didn't even bother looking at the lyrics.
Yeah.
I,
Jesse says she's been here for 1,000 days. 1,000 days to her, that doesn't mean a thing. Daddy's coming home. He said he brought her some things like jewels from every coast and songs for them to sing. Um, but singing never got her very far. This whole coast is full of pin-up paper rock stars. And then, just the kind of keep it coming, keep the details quiet. She's like a ghost, keeps you up all night, and she'll be a secret you can keep. Keep me. So I could see potentially, I could see that maybe. Internets, thank you for that theory.
I think it's about a traveling salesman father or dad that brings stuff home to his daughter that he adores.
Okay, that's a good theory. Maybe we should put up a
That's what it
poll.
sounds like to me.
What do you think?
Traveling salesman dad versus Lady of the Night. Is that what we're doing here?
Or a girl that just wants to escape where she is.
Yeah. No, I think I'm pretty much right here. I'm
As
spot on.
always,
I'm spot on.
spot on.
I'm
All
spot
right,
on.
moving on. Another long song title. I seem to be getting a lot of these in the odd numbers. I'd hate to be you when people find out what this song is about. Um, I was drawn to this song immediately. Another one of those with a soft beginning into some huge musical bars. I love the guitar here. It gets so it starts off with a chorus, then a verse, then back into the chorus. But the second time I do the chorus, it gets real big when it's played with like the full band, just like belting the lyrics out compared to the soft time, the softness they do the first time around. Um, then also a part where the song kind of shifts in its feel. The His pitch goes up when he's singing, and it just rocks. So there's a lot of ups and downs here. Later on, the song goes back down. There's a pick scrape, a guitar solo, and then it goes up like one more time to this final, and we both go down together. I just feel like this is one that I want to like belt out at the top of my lungs every time I hear it.
You can if you want to.
I've been trying.
You're allowed. You can do it anytime you want. In the car. By the way, did you let anybody in your family listen to this album?
Yeah, my daughter listened to it with me while I was driving around.
And
No real response to it. I would say she's heard me put in Jamie all over like a million times. It is nice that there's not a. I don't think there's any cursing in this, so it was. I didn't have to worry about it.
played it. I just played it today for my daughter when I picked her up from dance. And I says, "All right, I want you to rank this. I want you to rank this music and this song, not this song, but this music on a scale from 1 to 10." She said 1.
Wow, you need to do some more work here, Chris.
She gave it a 1. But it was this song that was on. So maybe that means that this song isn't that good. Maybe I should have went to a different song. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad song. I disagree with the 1. I think it's at least a 3 or 4. Uh, where am I at? Where am I at? So if I think if I had more nostalgia with this one, I would be into it little bit more. I think if this is one that I had since 2007, I would probably be saying some different things about the nuances of the guitar and the vocals and the pick scrapes. I just don't feel like I spent enough time with it. And if you just kind of take it at surface value, at face value from listening to it, a handful of times for this show, I think it's just basically a decently done, well written pop song. Like this to me is a pop song. This kind of strips out a lot of punk, strips out. I don't even know if it's emo. I mean, it's just straight up pop, and that's okay. I mean, again, that's sometimes the sound they're going for on this album. So, that's where I'm at with this. And, outside of that, it might be a bit over the top inspirational in theme. I'm okay with a little bit of inspiration. I'm okay with that post rain feeling. But when it gets too big, I kind of feel burnout. I don't know. I just feel like it's maybe a little bit too cheesy in that way. So,
I loved it. I thought it was a great pop ballad. That's fine to call it that.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, we never really say on the show that pop's a bad word. I hope no one feels that way. But, I like to categorize where I can categorize. And that's how I kind of feel about this one. But yeah, maybe a little bit too over the top for me.
All right, I won't take it to heart.
I like it. I like it. I'm the next one. And yeah, you took. I should be doing the segues. Why'd you take it away? Why'd you
I
take my
mean,
segue?
you had the chance. You gotta jump into it.
I was
You
gonna
seem
do
to be very
a.
confused on the who's going first thing this evening, so
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
trying to
really.
help you out.
I'm only half paying attention right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think about some other things tied to what I heard and listened to, and kind of distracted by that. So I'm not disinterested in the show. I'm fully
Listen, this
engaged.
is my pick. You're supposed to give it 100%.
I am, and that's why I'm like distracted because there's things I'm thinking about that are coming to me
You're still
while
looking
you're
at the fucking
talking.
map.
That's an important part of the conversation.
Oh God.
How would you ever know where Ocean Avenue was if I hadn't told you?
I know where a few of them are.
Oh, well, you only know that certain ones, but you certainly didn't know this one.
I know there's an Ocean Avenue up there. Yes.
This is I tried every way in the world to make a listen to your heart joke here, but there's none. It doesn't you can't make one. And who sings Listen to Your Heart, Steve? I just want to know if you know.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
That's not in my wheelhouse.
Dude, you can't be serious.
I don't know.
Roxette? Roxette.
Okay.
And you said that you would beat me at trivia. Absolutely not. All right. See, this is the song. See, when they embrace the pop punk, and this is one of those songs where they do that, man, this band hits on all cylinders. I'm glad you gave me this one because I was brought back to a lot of excitement with this song. I mean, it just sounded great. I think that the song has a ton of personality. It just has so much more energy and emotion. For me, it's the right kind of emotion. It has no screams, but a little bit of raspiness in the voice. It just goes all out here, and I really love that. So when they take this direction, when they go this route, I think Mayday Parade is at their best, and definitely one of the standouts on this album for sure. So, Steve, what did you think?
Yeah, this kind of seems a little bit like a clap along song to me when if they were to play it live. I kind of like the pre-chorus better than I like the chorus, but overall still a really good song. I feel like the repeating guitar line kind of stitches everything together, and there are some very sweet lyrics in this one. One more night, we'll go spinning around the room and dance with our hearts on fire because every song is ours tonight. And if you love me so, I'm going to tell the whole world. That's the greatest thing that's happened to me. I finally found a good reason to come home. So, with a lot of breakup songs here, one that's on the uplifting side, and I like this one too.
Okay, I don't have a segue for you, but
Yeah, I love the
this is
title of this song. Champagne's for celebrating. In parentheses, I'll have a martini. So he won't be celebrating. And this one to me does kind of have that like classic pop punk kind of sound to it. Or actually, I don't even know if it's pop punk. Like Boys Like Girls, like Great Escape kind of thing. It just seems to have something that I don't know keeps the song going. And they do those cool drum hits in this one. This time it seems a little bit more clunky though. It's not as seamless. To me, this one is it's good, but it didn't really catch me that hard. I don't know if you thought any different.
no, I didn't. There was nothing to me like this was not catchy. There was nothing that I can really sink my teeth into here. I just this is not my type of song. I don't really have much more to say. I mean, I did listen to this one maybe one or two more times than some of the other tracks. Those tougher ones, Steve, whenever you don't have thoughts because maybe this just doesn't connect with you, it's hard to articulate, but I couldn't pull a ton out of this one either. Sorry.
All right, well, finish up the album.
Yeah. So they finish it up on a ballad note. It's another very just straight up emotional song. This one does not kick it up at all. This one keeps it low. It might not be a piano ballad, but it definitely is a ballad in every way, shape, or form. Man, I just couldn't get into this one. I don't know. Like I didn't feel. I almost feel like the previous piano ballad on the album, and that is what, Miserable Best. Like I'd almost go back to that one versus listening to this one. I just not my this emo pop stuff. Like when it comes to this, just slowed down, just so sad and so low. Like I don't want that. Not my cup of tea. I've said that several times. This is another one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I like, you didn't say the name of the song, which is "You'll be the anchor that keeps my feet on the ground. I'll be the wings that keep your heart in the clouds." So, nice short title here.
Mhm.
A heartfelt, soft ballad to end the album. I like that. I like when they have that. And honestly, the song reminded me of another song so much, but I couldn't place it. And I spent way too long thinking about this instead of making notes while I was listening to the song every single time. And I still haven't placed it. So, if you out there have any idea what kind of emo ballad song I'm thinking of that this song reminds you of, please tell me what you think it is. It's a really nice song, and I like the placement of it as the last song here. I also love that right out of this one, when the album starts up again and we're back into Jamie All Over, it's a great transition back into that. So I know you've commented on that in the past, how you like when the album starts over. I feel like this
Yep.
one does kind of lead into that super fun upbeat one in Jamie All Over.
I guess I just don't really like it. I'm very particular when it comes to the slowed down emo stuff, and it just has to be really specific. So I'll be a snob when it comes to this type of song, and just say like this does not fall into that category for me. It seems like you're less of a snob, that you're more of just you buy into this emotional type of ballad more often maybe than I do, which is fine. I want to be more picky about it.
Fair enough. Well, we did it. That's the album. We
We
got a lesson in
did.
romantics.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a lesson in romantics. If you go back and you read the lyrics, you're definitely getting that lesson, Steve, from front to back. Despite everything that we agreed or disagreed on, and despite the fact that you got a really nice view of the coast, the East Coast, and
Thank you for that.
some of the roads. I thought I was doing you a favor. Obviously, you did not want that, so I'll rethink my approach next time. Maybe go in a little bit different direction. Maybe use Waves instead of Google Maps. Maybe that would be more interesting. I don't know.
Maybe.
But Steve, I think it comes to the point in the show where we have to rank it. That's right. It's called ranking it. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first time you've ever listened to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast, ranking it pretty self explanatory. Steve and I both rank our top three favorite whatever we're talking about that particular day. And today, we're talking about an album. We're talking about a lesson in romantics by Mayday Parade. So, without further ado, in order, Steve, what are your top three? Three, two, one.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if this was easy or hard. There were a couple that I probably left out here. I'm gonna go number three is Jersey. I think that is definitely one of my favorites. Number two, I don't. You didn't like this one that much, but I'd hate to be you when people find out what the song is about. That one again. I'm screaming along every time I hear it. And same as Jamie All Over is the best song on this album, and it got me hooked into this band and wanting me to learn more. And I think that this didn't disappoint, and that song doesn't disappoint at all.
It's funny that we think about what our favorite songs on this album are, and it definitely mirrors. I don't know what it mirrors. It mirrors it mirrors a certain type of sound. Let's put it that way. So you didn't go piano ballad, you didn't go emo ballad in your top three, and I'm surprised because I thought you really liked those maybe a little bit more than what you ended up liking them.
You didn't call
Uh,
"I'd Hate to Be You" an emo ballad?
uh Not as much as You'll Be the Anchor and Miserable at Best.
Okay.
Take This to Your Heart is number three for me. Number two, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go number two, Jamie All Over, and number one is Jersey. I really like Jersey. I thought it was the best one. But they were really close. One and two were very close. But I'm gonna mix it up a little bit because for some reason Jersey just hit me a little bit different. And I'm going to give it the nod.
All right, we haven't played a setlist game in a while, so I'm going to bring it back here and give you the option if you want the short version or the longer version.
Let's do the longer version.
All right, headlining Mayday Parade show in Philadelphia, 2023. They played 21 songs. Again, they have 7 full-length albums and 4 EPs. Which songs did they play?
They played Jamie All Over.
Yes, they happened to open with it that night.
They played Miserable at Best.
They did.
They played Jersey.
That was the closer.
When I Get Home.
Nope, that's strike one. Which is
All
funny because
right,
that was the
so
first single.
yeah, that is weird. That is weird. Um, there's no way they did Take This to Heart.
That's 2 strikes.
Man, why would they play some of these other songs? All right, I'll just go. I'll just go if you wanted a song written about you.
Nope, you're out. You got 3 out of the 5. Jamie All Over, Black Cat, Miserable at Best, I'd Hate to Be You, and people find out what the song is about, and Jersey.
Black Cat. Okay. I mean, I guess. See, to me, like I feel like Black Cat is so it's 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 just so different that I don't feel like it's part of their. I don't see it being a part of their set, but maybe it's so eclectic that people want to hear it. So
I don't think it's a staple, but they did play it that night. And
okay.
I don't think we really know too much about the rest of the Mayday Parade discography. So let's just ask everybody out there, hop into Discord. Tell us how this one compares to the others. And are there certain ones that we should listen to? If there are 6 other full length albums, do you have another go to other than this one, A Lesson in Romantics? Tell us, please.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the question. Is which direction should we go? Should we go to any one particular? Should we go to any one particular album? Should we not listen to any more Mayday Parade? Is this the best one in your opinion? And it just kind of goes downhill from here. That would be what I want to know. So just like Steve said, let us know. And hey, if you're in our Discord channel, that's a great way to let us know about it, right, Steve?
Absolutely. And listen, kind of what happened with Neck Deep. I think that these guys sunk their claws into me. I'm interested. I want more. I really like this album.
I'm gonna listen to more too. I've been doing that recently, Steve, by the way, like stuff that we've been listening to that I have not heard the rest of. I've actually been popping those albums on from time to time, trying to get a little bit more knowledgeable about things that are gaps in my musical catalog of my head. So I'm gonna make it a point to pick one. Again, I would love to have somebody to point me in the right direction, but I'm just gonna pick one in the meantime and just see what I think because I want to know. I'm curious. I'm curious. Again, I feel like I said at the beginning of the show, I feel like it's going to be a lot of the same stuff, but you never know.
Alrighty.
Yep. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a lesson of romantics by Mayday Parade, and hopefully you enjoyed Steve Picks March. We had a blast with this one. I think that Steve picks, Chris picks, some of our most fun shows that we've had in a long time. Steve, would you agree?
Yeah, I had a great time in both months.
Yeah, so we're gonna get back to some other stuff that we got on the agenda here for next month, but who knows? Maybe in the future we'll get back to a Chris and Steve picks. Maybe we'll even agree on one, and we will both go with picks that we both agree on for every episode. Who knows? But if you enjoyed this and you want to let us know about it, one of the best ways you can do that is to hop on over to Apple Podcasts, give us a written review. We love that. We love written reviews. Even if it's not 100% positive, let us know what you think about the show. We want to get better. We want to improve the show for you And that's a great way you can do that. And if you really do like the show, give us a 5-star review. It helps us with visibility. It helps our show. It makes us feel fantastic. And even more than that, do not forget about our shop. We have some great swag still available. It's all branded with the High School Never Ends logo. Everything from cups to gloves. I keep saying gloves. I don't think they're there, but there's other cool stuff. Maybe gloves in the future, but go check it out. You can get there and all of our other cool stuff via our hub, which is simply put www.hsnepod.com.
That's right. And from there, you can find our Discord channel and follow us on Instagram at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Pod, and subscribe to our Patreon for bonus content. It's patreon.com/HSNEPod. Next week, new theme, new month, new episode. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.